Whenever somebody like Colin Kaepernick takes a knee in this country, everybody talks about, oh, that's so unpatriotic. But a guy can say he wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election, and nobody cares. Like even me bringing it up now, you brought it back to Kamala and Joe Rogan. Anderson?
Yeah.
Who gives a damn?
Well, I think you give a damn who's elected president. And I'm asking you.
That president is a fascist. That's talking about putting people in camps. That's talking about, once again, terminating the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. That's talking about, jailing his political opponents. Yeah. Like, that rhetoric doesn't scare people?
Well, we talk about this every single. This is what
I don't think
I've been talking about this every night.
I don't think y'all have enough conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about, Donald Trump being a fascist. Well, am I wrong, Angela?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
Go ahead, Anderson.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Okay.
But to say that we're sitting around discussing is Kamala Harris black,
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. That's bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody is.
Oh, I'm not saying you. I said the network.
And Cooper tries to deny it. He's like, that's exactly what Dana Bash on this network asked Kamala Harris. What do you think about Donald Trump saying you're not black? I mean, it's. He was absolutely right. He called BS right to their face. That this coverage is just. So I very rarely agree with Van Jones, but when he said, we're not just grading Donald Trump on a curve. They're not even taking the same exam. He can be lawless and she has to be flawless. I said at the top of the show, where are we to? Kamala Harris has to count the jelly beans in a jar yet?
Yes. We are. Yes.
I mean, seriously, she's taking the bar exam every day, and he's like, man, woman, camera. Oh, look what I did.
Yeah.
And the media's
he's not putting forward any of his answers or his medical records or anything.
Yeah.
No, and nobody in the media is sitting here going and demanding it, right? But the demand is on her. The demand is that she run 10 races a day while he goes to a rally. The demand is that she show up and be everywhere in media, that you can see her talk, that you can see her answer questions, you can see her,
She went to Fox News.
Yeah, right. When have we ever seen this? He won't debate. He won't do any interviews.
He has a dance party for 40 minutes.
Yeah, he gets to sit back and heckle her, and she gets the gotcha questions. Right?
There's been no examination of J.D. Vance's actual biography, and did he grow up like this? But Tim Walz, we better know exactly where he was every single day that he was in China. I'm so sick of it. And they're playing right into it. And all from the editor here at the Los Angeles Times resigning.
Yeah.
Because the owner won't let them endorse a candidate, which they've done in every other election in our, the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It's insane. They are not doing their jobs.
And
they are tools of oppression.
The rumors that the Washington Post is going to do the same thing, and I keep saying their fear of a Trump presidency is going to cause it.
Yep. Their desire for.
Yeah.
Desire.
Yeah. I mean, what did they say after this? First of all, Kamala Harris did great in the CNN town hall, as she has in every venue she's been in. And Dana Bash says at the end of it, I don't think she closed the deal tonight. Yes, she did. What, really? And Donald Trump doesn't have to show up at all. And she gets asked like it's a gotcha question. Are you saying Donald Trump's a fascist? She's like, yes. Yeah. So are his generals. All of his generals are calling him, right? I mean,
yeah. He's a
yes.
Okay. I think he will even call himself a fascist. I don't think that it's even an insult to him.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
I don't, that's not, he wants to be a dictator. That's who he is.
Calling someone Hitler is not even an insult anymore. They're rationalizing that, right?
Well, the reality is that he associates himself with Hitler.
Right. We're not doing it.
I don't know. You're thinking of your running mate called you America's Hitler, right? He's like, Kamala called me Hitler.
And they're not talking about Vance at all.
No.
He's somehow skating completely under the radar right now.
Yeah.
And and that's the thing, you're right. There are 3 things I will watch now. I didn't even watch a town hall. I decided to read about it the next day because I knew it would make my pressure bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank God Alex Wagner's on too late for me. I didn't see the black voter town hall.
She dresses nice. Okay, I like her look.
Yeah, she does.
And I just wonder for anybody who heard that, what they thought of that.
I was deeply offended, and it felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line, and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our black men. We have programs and things that we're rolling out for them, and she rolled out policy.
Good cop, bad cop. You know, because
I'm tired of the good cop, bad cop. I'm tired of it.
Alex Wagner said, to be clear, the voters I spoke with are not representative of black voters in Philadelphia on the whole. Why are you doing it then? Why are you wasting our time 11 days before an election with a percentage that's not even double digits probably? No. Kamala Harris is in the 80-something percentile of black voters at this point. What is the point of this? Can I ask?
Yes, you can. And let me be clear about something. We've let Rachel Maddow have these 4 days, and I think we're going to have to take it back. I can't. No. I was already on the fence about Miss Wagner, but that puts me over the edge. I am not interested. This man, Trump, is on a daily basis becoming more and more insane, and all they keep doing is try and report on possible rifts in the Democratic coalition. Yeah. They are not reporting on his crazy fascism, on his nuts threats, on his absolute obvious some form of decline. The
rest of the media is bad enough, Angela. Well, what? You're going to take programming time on MSNBC to talk to this teeny, non-representative, percentage of the population doing Trump talking points? I mean, you got to hear. Just sorry to do this to you, but.
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
So these were African-American women. So I'm not sure, again,
what percentage of misogynist talking points.
These are swing voters?
Yes. No, these were members of the Black Republican Club of Philadelphia.
The sheet here says they're swing voters. They don't sound like swing voters to me.
They're Trump supporters.
That's a lie.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But I don't know how many times there is no such thing as a swing voter in this election. There are people who aren't voting and who have never voted, but there are no swing voters.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lie that people say to get in the focus group.
Right.
Exactly. Listen to this.
Do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America.
What?
Because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy.
Right.
Like you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
The fact that they are giving this group of people a platform is disgusting.
It's absolutely disgusting.
And Alex Wagner should be ashamed of herself.
Yeah, I'm done with her.
These are not just Trump talking points. These are Putin talking points. These are Russian talking points. They did this in 2016. How can we get in those racial cracks in America? Trump knows what he's doing.
Let me tell you
There's
something.
If he can just get a tiny percentage of black voters to go, oh, yeah, she's not really black. Oh, yeah, she was a prosecutor. Oh, yeah, that's what they're doing.
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. They've been a problem in our family. We got one in my family, and I'm going to tell you something. He's scared of me.
Good.
First question he asked is Angela going to be there? And I was like, let him know. And sometimes I'm not going to be there, but I say I am so that he won't go. I'm just like, no. These people, I'm glad that they found each other because that's all they have. Yeah. This kind of ignorance, every group has these kind of ignorant people. We don't usually shove microphones in front of their faces because we're embarrassed.
Right.
We have the decency to be ashamed of them. But let me tell you something. Never underestimate the importance of using fresh ingredients in a biscuit. Because when you don't, this is what happens.
Yeah.
One less.
For me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a black woman, but yet she's locking up black women and black men and separating families.
Oh, my God. That's right out of the Russian talking point playbook.
Yeah. Also, separating families. That's your homeboy's. That's his
Yeah.
hobby.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
That's his go-to.
But these people aren't worth the time of day. We don't listen to them.
Yeah.
They don't get to come to the barbecue. They don't get to come to anything.
But there's so much at stake, and we're a few days before an election, and you're taking airtime with this bull. I mean,
they're always doing it. You know, they've got something like 87% of black men voting for her, you know, and 90% of black women. But what do? We find these 6 people.
Right.
Yeah. We focus all of our energy on, you know, Chris Hayes talked about it earlier this week, and the sexism, the misogyny in this country and how deep it is in terms of the media refusing to really understand that this election is about Roe. And they keep trying to say, oh, it's about these bros. And look at how the Trump campaign's, you're talking about this percentage of the population. I'm talking about over half the population. Yeah. Over half the population is on this, but what are we always focused on? Whatever little small group of men or bigots or rusty old biscuits we can find. That's where we give, and it's like the media, I have no love for them. I can't.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.